What's up, everybody? I'm back. You guys already know what time it is. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, I need to remind you guys, okay? This is a fitness channel with a twist. And today's twist, man, I'm going to have to elaborate a little bit on, I believe it's an individual that goes by the name of Gumby and Mr. Dubs. Mr. Dubs voiced his opinion, and Mr. Gumby voiced his opinion as well, so I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. You see what I'm saying? You guys pick up what I'm putting down, because I'm going to be giving you guys a whole lot of my opinion and my point of view on the way I see things out here on the YouTube yarda. Well, anyways, like I said, man, this is a fitness channel with a twist. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, hit me up. It's highpowerfitness.net. If you don't want to go through my website, you could actually just shoot me an email. It's highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. That way I could get you started on becoming that best version of yourself. Guaranteed, with the 90-day program, you could lose up to 30 pounds of fat and build muscle at the same time. Like I said, I do finance. I don't send anybody away packing. We will come up with a plan that works best for you. Now, hit that like and subscribe button. Put the notification bell and all, because when you do hit that subscribe button, it's going to be directed right to, I believe it's a bell that's called personalize. Take it up, personalize, and put it on all. That way you will get notified of all my content. Another thing, make sure you hype this video. That way we could get it out there in the algorithm. I guess that's what they call it. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, I'm still new to this stuff. This stuff is therapeutic for me. It's entertainment. A lot of the things that go on right here on social media, in the YouTube yarda, I take with a grain of salt, man. You know what I mean? Because I live out here in the real world. I've once lived that life that people are trying to speak into existence here. And you guys got to keep in mind, man, this individual right here tends to ramble. I'm the rambler, the riddler. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be me if I weren't. So anyways, pre-diabetes, man. And I'm only going to speak on this. I've spoken on this many times in the past. I ran into an individual, very well-known rapper in the Chicano industry, the Chicano rap, I guess you guys want to label that as. That's a trip too, how everybody, I did this, we started this. Who gives a fuck? We're all here today. We're going through the same struggle. Doesn't matter who did this first, did that first. You know what I mean? Quit it already. That shit is for the birds. Well, anyways, pre-diabetes, man. This individual, they already had to chop a toe from him, and he just keeps on putting it on the back burner. And like I've said in the past, I could lead a horse to water, but I can't force it to drink. He has my direct number. When he's ready, hopefully it's sooner than later, because most people decide to put everything on the back burner, and when that health condition comes at you with full force, it's nothing nice, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit too late. So pre-diabetes, man, is a serious condition because it can lead to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. However, it can be reversed, people, with lifestyle changes, such as losing weight, eating a healthy diet, and exercising on a regular basis. It really isn't that hard, people, I'm telling you. Pre-diabetes, people, okay, let me break it down to you. It's a condition where your body doesn't use insulin as well as it should, okay? Insulin, it's a hormone that helps glucose get from your blood into your cells for energy. When you have pre-diabetes, your body makes more insulin than normal, but your cells don't respond to it as well, okay? This causes your blood sugar levels to go out the roof. Okay, there's a quick little breakdown on how serious this condition can be. They will start removing body parts from you. Let's just keep it that way. I'm not going to get into detail about which body parts they start moving, because it usually starts at the feet. You know what I mean? So that right there should be a sign in itself, man. You got to get right with your life, or you're going to end up losing your life when it comes to diabetes. Diabetes is no joke. My mom suffered with diabetes. She lost her vision behind it. I used to take care of her. I used to have to make all of her insulin shots. I started making her food, washing her clothes. You know what I mean? I was doing everything. I was doing what she did for me as a child, taking care of me. So my mother actually became my child, and it is what it is. You know, I miss my mom. I love her to death, and you know, she's no longer with me. My parents are gone. You know, and I took care of them. You know, when I was out here in the streets, I did the best that I could. You know, and I hope right now that they're looking down on me from heaven, and they're proud of me because I'm making power moves. People, trust and believe. If you guys ever see me veer off a little bit from the YouTube, don't think someone removed me from the yarda. You know what I mean? It's because I have some other things that are in the making right now, I should say, and it's going to be very beneficial not only to myself, but it may be beneficial for me to open up doors and opportunities for other people. You know, there's some, I have some big things in the near future. People, trust and believe, man. So, anyways, with that being said, the Rambler went rambling. Let's get straight to the motherfucking punch. There's this individual that goes by the name of Gumby Hoover. Much respect to the Hoovers. You know, I did a lot of had a lot of interactions, let's just say, with them in the county jail. You know what I mean? There were some cool ones, and there were some motherfucking questionable ones. You see what I'm saying? But then that goes for all walks of life in there. You know what I mean? There's bad seeds in every race. You know, I'm being non-biased and I'm being honest with people 100%. Okay, Dubs spoke about this individual, how he used a certain title, and the way things run on his video. I don't really want to get into too much detail about that. Dubs spoke and said what he has to say, so I'm going to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Dubs was wrong on what he said. He was absolutely correct. But now you got to keep in mind and keep into consideration the title that Dubs used out there, or that people tend to use freely out here on social media. I refrain from using it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of meaning behind that title, and I frown upon people when I see them speak of that title. I'll bring it to their attention. You know what I mean? Let them know, you know, what time it is. But now you got to keep in mind, Mr. Gumby from Hoover, he grew up during a time of violence going through that county jail. It was very racist. And I told you guys in my other stories in the past, I was a person that had love for everybody other than my enemies. But when I hit that fucking county system and I was introduced to a new environment, of course I learned to adapt real quick, because as a wildflower, that's what we do. And I'm sure that goes for everybody, you know what I mean? Either you adapt or you just get stomped on. I've never seen so much racism in my life. It made me grow so much hate towards individuals. And it wasn't as a whole, it was towards certain individuals, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be very cautious on what I say right here, because I don't want nobody to ever think that I'm that person that's racist, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I fucking hate everybody the same, so you can't say I'm racist. And I'm just keeping it real, man. There was incidents. I would love to speak on these incidents that went on in the modules. I remember a particular incident that went on in Charlie Road when I was rocking and rolling, you know. And if you guys are familiar, back in the day, back in the 80s and you know, the 90s, I was in there in the late 80s, early 90s, when I started doing my time over there in that county jail. You would be housed, and you didn't really have an option where you were being housed at. You know what I'm saying? We usually started off with 9,500, and then they shot us down to a module. But you could be in a 6-man cell with like 12 people in there. And out of all them 12 people, there could be like 9 brothers in there. You and maybe a couple gavas. You see what I'm saying? And when the war was real with it, it could be a very deadly situation. You know what I mean? So that's I have some stories, man, that I could speak on, but I refrain from doing it because, you know, those were times that should be buried in the past. But I would give them people, I am going to give them people recognition, you know, because there was a time that I really remember. I didn't think I was going to make it out of there. You know what I mean? I was in a cell and I was the only homie right there. And I was at the end of the fucking module too. The last cell. It's like fucking 16 or something like that. Cell number 16. I forget the numbers, what it was. But when the shit hit the fan, man, you know, hey, what was I to do? I had to do what I had to do. But I remember the there was a couple older cats that were in there. Actually, one was from Hoover, and I'm not going to say his name. You know what I mean? Because he could be frowned upon for what he did for me. He actually saved my ass. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? I will always be grateful for him. I never crossed paths with him again ever in the system. You know, if he's still around, I hope he's doing well. That was a good dude. He didn't have to do what he did for me. But anyways, you guys can speculate all you want. You know what I mean? And that's where I like to say that we got individuals that come from all races that have that heart for not only for their race but for life itself. You know what I mean? And you will always have them individuals that have hate towards others. And Dubs mentioned that this guy had a lot of hate in him towards our gente. I went and reviewed the video. I didn't really get the chance to hear him saying them racist words at the beginning because I guess the content creator removed them. But I know I did hear the man giving examples on the, that there was the tit for tat. Okay, so obviously he did use a racist word during the beginning, the B word or W word. I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't get to hear it. But he was giving examples, the way words were used. And, he has every right to feel the way he does. And as far as him labeling that channel, Mr. Lucky's, as being that title, he doesn't have the knowledge of what the difference is between that title and just being a homie channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say the words, and I'm going to give you another example. The homies from up north tend to use that title a lot. I actually had spoken with a couple individuals from up north, very well known, and I explained to them to, be careful on the way you use that word around certain people, because it would be frowned upon. You know what I mean? That was just to avoid them getting in a wreck, because they weren't aware of the meaning behind that word. Okay, so, and I'm not going to get into detail about this. You guys already know what I'm talking about. You guys think, oh, you fucking fiddle diddle too much. Oh, gee, just straight out say it. I'm not going to say it. You know what I mean? I'll leave that talk for the other content creators. It goes against my beliefs. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Other content creators say it freely. There's other individuals out here on social media claim that they are that, and they, trust me, you guys are not that. You know what I mean? It really, really irks me when I see individuals that use that title, because that right there is something that is earned. It's not given to you. You know what I mean? But anyways, people. So anyways, what Dubs had to say, Dubs gave his point of view from a point of view coming from the joint. Yeah, behind them walls in the state, there's not them feuds going on the way they did in the LA County Jail. Now, I don't know if Dubs ever went through the LA County Jail, but that's the difference right there, where I have to say different with Dubs. Gumby may have all that hate towards us because he went through the same wars that I did, and he fails. Well, he doesn't fail. He just he's not going to accept the coexistence with us. I mean, he does to a certain extent, because I heard him talking about his vecino, his neighbor, buying tamales and all that. Hey, don't know, whatever he said, Hector or whatever, getting his clown on. And that's what I'm saying, man. A lot of people out here, they take things and they run with it and they try to speak it into existence. This is to take me back to when this battle was going on with the gente from up north and the homies from down south. Okay, and I've said in the past, and I've gotten heat about it, the homies from down south here shouldn't even be feuding about that. Why? Because they've never lived it. The homies from up north that claim that Southside title, that's gang banging. That's the way I view it. You know what I'm saying? So Yes, I went off topic, and that's what I do. Why? Because I'm the motherfucking rambler. But like I said, yeah, Dubs, voiced his opinion, and I'm not going to say he was wrong. But you got to keep in mind, this individual went through the Alley County Jail during the year of the war. And this is to this fucking poo butt out there. You know what? I'm not even going to say your name. But I'm going to tell you this. Who the fuck do you think you are asking me to show you proof that I was involved with something? Are you fucking retarded? I don't even know who you are. Even if I did know who you are, that would be so disrespectful. I don't need to prove a damn thing to nobody on this motherfucking social media. You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? If you want to keep on trying to be that Mashik out there, keep doing your thing. But I'm not going to entertain that bullshit on my channel. I'm going to just delete comments because I don't want it on there. I don't want you this fucking the romper room gang in there doing all this little fucking net banging that you guys do just to kick up dust. You know what I mean? And another thing, this is to all the content creators. The more you speak on this topic that's going on, the more it's going to bring it to light. Out of sight, out of mind, people. If everybody would just learn to zip it, trust and believe, the dust will settle. Straight up. Yes, there's going to be them certain individuals that will keep on trying to push that hate towards one another, and there's going to be some losses here and there, but it's not going to be the whole community. We've went through so many wars, especially through that county jail, just to finally come to coexist with one another. We ain't trying to go backwards. The real ones ain't. Straight up. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, I did enough motherfucking rambling. I got to get going because today's a busy day. Friday, all the weigh-ins, progress pictures. I got to go over all of my team members' profiles. And like I said, man, life is good, people. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in this fucking bullshit that's going on out here. And to, you know what, I'm not even going to speak on that. But anyways, people, with that being said, if you guys want to get started on your fitness journey, hit me up. It's highpowerfitness.net, or you can go to my Instagram, highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me and I'll get back to you ASAP. It's highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Now make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives. On my lives, everybody is welcome to pull up. You could voice your opinion. I will interact with every last one of you guys. You guys just got to be patient with me because I'm not one of these fucking cats that could fucking type real fast. Well, actually, I'm going to be speaking, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be a live. But you just got to bear with me, okay? I will. But if you come at me with stupid fucking comments and shit like that, I won't even entertain it. I'll let you know. Hey, you know what I mean? Because on my motherfucking YouTube, yarda, if you come and play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. And there's going to be zero tolerance for fucking stupidity. There's not going to be no chiquiadas. It's just going to be strictly removals. But once you get removed, I did make an exception to the rule. You can buy your way back in. You know I'm just bullshitting, right? But you could go create another account and come back in. Anyways, people, that being said, man, get up and get yours.